Here is my audience. Okay. All right. Hello, my name is Samantha DeBoer, and I am a LPN at a clinic here in Lincoln for pediatrics. Today I'm going to take you behind the scenes of what we do when you bring your kiddo in to get vaccinated. So today I'm going to walk you through the steps of picking out vaccines that your child needs, preparing your vaccines, and then finally administering your vaccines. The first step is choosing the vaccines. So whether you're in the older crowd of 50 and above and need a pneumococcal vaccination or a shingles vaccine, or a kiddo that may need a Hib, a DTaP, or maybe even a Hep B. There are plenty of vaccines given from birth in the hospital to 2 months old, clear up until 4 to 6, 7th grade physical, and then also when you turn 16. Today, we are going to do kindergarten shots. So today you're going to pick out vaccines. So the first vaccine is a Kinrix, which is a DTaP and a polio. This is the second or the final vaccine of DTaP and polio that your child will get. Another vaccine that we give is an MMR, which is measles, mumps, and rubella. This is the second and final one that your child will get in their lifetime. The last one is a varicella, which is also known as a chickenpox vaccine. So with these vaccines comes a diluent. And a diluent is what we use to mix with the MMR and then one to mix with the varicella. These vaccines, the MMR and the varicella, are held in a freezer of 5 degrees or lower because they're a live virus and they are in powder form. You need the diluent to mix the powder with the water to create something to pull up with a syringe. Your Kinrix is kept in the refrigerator, which is anywhere between 36 and 46 degrees. This one you don't need to reconstitute because it is not a live virus and it's already in liquid form. So with this, you need your syringes. You'll need an administration tip, a prep pad, an alcohol prep pad, and a 2x2 to clean up any mess that you may have, whether it be blood or excess alcohol prep on the skin. And then lastly, you need your Band-Aids. So in order to draw them up, you're going to take a syringe, and for example, we will start with MMR, which is the live virus. So you're going to take your diluent, and you're going to insert the syringe, retract the diluent, and then insert it into your powder, and wait till it all dissolves, which takes 4 to 5 seconds. You're going to retract that out of the bottle into your syringe. You're going to repeat that process again for the chickenpox vaccine, which is also, again, use a diluent. You inject it into the powder, turns into a liquid, and you draw that out. That one, of course, on the Kinrix, you're not going to do this because it's already a liquid. So then you're going to have your 3 vaccines drawn up. In this case, this will be your second check. As a nurse, you always want to check your vaccines that you're giving at least 3 times. This, however, is your second check because picking out the vaccines is your first, drawing them up is your second. So then, once you draw them up, you need to prepare the ends. So once you've drawn up those vaccines, your tip of your needle is now dull because you have entered and exited the vial at least 3 times. So all the ends of these are going to be dull. So this is where you take out your administration needle. In the pediatric community, we use the 5/8 needle, which is like the round, I don't know the word is, like a hose, how a hose is, but this is 5/8. So instead of it being very wide and open, it's more skinny and thin, so it doesn't create such a hole in a small child. We also use a 25 gauge needle, which is one of the smallest that you can find, especially in the pediatric clinic. We use this for everybody. The 5/8 is the length of the needle. So, so the length of the needle is just 5/8 of an inch long, which means that when you insert it, it's not going to go clear through their arm. Okay, and so once you get that, the administration tip, you're going to take off all of your dull tips of your needles. For example, we'll do one of these, and you're going to take this, which is in a package, because it is sterile. You don't want to open the package until you put it on the needle to keep that sterile environment. So then, once you take the tip of the needle off, you're going to open the package and screw it on to your needle. Now you have a tip that has never been touched, never been used, and never been poked, therefore it is as sharp as it will ever be. So in this case, you're going to do this with all of your other syringes. Then once you do that, you are ready to go. You're going to prepare what you're bringing into the room. So you take your 3 syringes, you put them on your tray. You're going to need that alcohol prep pad that we talked about before, the 2x2 for any drips, messes, or spills, and then your Band-Aids to cover your shot hole administration area. And then you also want to take your vaccines because you're going to need them for your last check. So then, once we go into the room, I usually bring a coworker with me because kiddos between 4 and 6 are not necessarily excited to get their vaccines. So I have a coworker go in with me to hold for me so we can make this process quick and easy for both me, the parent, and the child, patient. Once you go into the room, you're going to do your last and final check, which is making sure that you have your Kinrix, your MMR, and your varicella, which are the kindergarten shots. Then, once you get in there, you're going to take the alcohol prep pad and you're going to clean the area. So it'd be the front and the back, which brings me to the administration. IM injections and sub-Q injections are a little bit different. IM goes straight into the muscle, which is a deltoid right here. Sub-Q goes a little bit under the skin into the subcutaneous layer, which is a little bit on the back part of your arm. The live viruses go sub-Q, and the Kinrix goes injected into the muscle. Once you clean the area, you're gonna get your needles ready, and you're gonna pop the top off, like this. Your needle's ready to go. You dart it in, inject the medicine, and then you flip the end, which protects you from poking the patient or yourself. You can't be poked, the needle is covered and contained. Once you administer all 3 vaccines, you're going to take your sharps and you're going to put it into a sharps container, which concludes the process. So today, you have learned what vaccines you need for your kindergartner, how we prepare them, and then also the final step of giving them. So next time you go into the doctor's office, whether it be for a flu shot, your 2-month-old baby needs vaccines, or your kindergartner, you're going to have somewhat of an idea of what goes on. Today, you have learned the whole steps in the process of giving a vaccine to a child. Hopefully you have a little bit more respect of an idea of how to give them and understand what the nurse does out of the room while you're impatiently waiting. Hopefully that you understand that it's a little bit more than just getting a shot. Thank you. Okay. Thanks.